All right, hi guys. I'm going live now, and I'm going to get started in just a second. Hopefully you'll be able to see me and see what's going on. All right. If you're watching, you can give me a shout out, thumbs up. If you see anything that you like, you can go ahead and let me know if you like it. So tonight we're going to do a sneak peek on one of the new suites that are coming out in the catalog. It's June 3rd, which is Wednesday. So that's really exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it over so you can see. Here's the new catalog. And I'm really excited. I wish I could open up the pages so you could see, but I am going to show you one product suite. It's called Forever Greenery. And so I'm going to get started and show you some of the products that are in the suite. And in this suite that you can get all of it, or you can just get the bundle, which the bundle, I'm going to go ahead and show the bundle, is the Forever Fern, I'm sorry. This is the Forever Fern stamp set. It's a cling stamp set, so it's red mounted, but it has the cling back. It's really easy to put onto your blocks, your clear blocks. And this is the Forever Flourishing dies. There's 15 that come in the die set. So this is great. I'm going to show you right now, first of all, here are the dies. And there are, as I said, there are 15 dies, and the ones that I ran through the die cutting machine, these do not have an image that is associated with the die, but right here, these do, and they also cut out the paper. So this is a stamped image, that's a stamped image, this is a stamped image, and then you have, this is part of the designer paper that can be cut out with one of the dies, as well as this one and this one, but this has two dies. So one goes one way and one goes the other. So this was stamped and this one was cut out with the designer paper. So it's really great. It's very versatile. I love anything that dies can do besides just cutting out the stamped image. So I think that's really, really great. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the suite itself and what you get. It's very, so with the suite you can get the bundle that I showed you already, the stamp set, as well as the dies that go with this stamp set. And this is the paper that comes in the suite, and you can see here the colors: Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, Garden Green, Just Jade, which is the new in color. Bring that up so you can see that color. It's really pretty. Pear Pizzazz and Soft Seafoam. These are great colors. They're all incorporated into the designer paper. So here's one side, the sheet. This is this side, and then this. So you can cut out these leaves with one of the dies. And the back side of this is this pattern. And then you have this sheet, and then on the other side of the beautiful ferns. And then down here you have another nice watercolored image. And then here on the other side is this one. You can use the dies to cut that out. And then you have this pattern. And on the other side is this beautiful collage of plants and ferns. Here you have a watercolor of some of the colors incorporated. There's Pretty Peacock, Garden Green, and this is, I think it's soft seafoam. And then on the other side of that is another plant collage. And then this one has a nice little lined pattern to it. And then this one is some more leaves. Again, you can use the dies to cut that out. So what else is in the suite is a duo pack of ribbon. And the ribbon is, one is the 1/16 of an inch gold metallic trim. You get 10 yards of this. And I really like that it frays. So if you can see that, it's fraying. I love that. And then you have this beautiful open weave, 1/2 inch vanilla ribbon, and you can, and you get 5 yards of this. And what's great is that you can sponge, use our stamping blends. You could watercolor this to give it any color that you want. And I will show you a card that I used to coordinate with the designer paper. And then you also get these really great, they're gold hoop embellishments. And you can make a wreath out of them with the leaves. You can also make a dream catcher. I've seen people make those. And also we have some great ideas to use with this. So I've used a lot of inspiration from the catalog already because it's not only just a catalog, but it's also an idea book. So that's what I love about it. So that is what comes in the suite. And then this is the best part. I'm really excited about this. This is the laser cut specialty paper. And it's very delicate. So in this paper, this is probably, these are they're almost 9.5 by 9.5 sheets. So you get one side or one sheet, and these are all laser cut. So you have these that you can add and then add a sentiment and layer it. And they also have some cutout ferns and some leaves. So it all incorporates the images that are in the designer paper. So we're going to use one tonight to make the card, but that it's actually this one I'm going to show you. And then if you didn't want to use the gold side, you can always flip it over and use the back side, which I'll show you in the card that I did. So got this, and then you have another sheet. These are hard to grab sometimes. So you have another sheet that has these panels, and they're all different. So you have this one that has the leaf layer, and this one has this nice lined, and then this one has diamonds. And again, you can use the back side. You can also sponge the back side if you want to the color you want to make it. And this one, it's almost like a frame, but it has, I love this. It just coordinates with the paper. I love everything that coordinates. And then these leaves is another one. So we're going to make one tonight, a card using one of the panels. All right, so that's what's in the suite. And, oh, I forgot one more thing. See, there's so much. These are the new mini embossing, Greenery embossing folders. And we have a new die cutting machine. It's called the Stamp Cut and Emboss machine. That's going to be coming out very soon. It won't be coming out next Wednesday when the catalog goes live, but it will be coming out soon after that. So there's two that you get, and this one is a leaved image, And the embossing folders are great. Remember, you're going to get a raised image when you run it through with your paper. And then you have this one that gives just a detail, again, coordinating with the flower, with the, plants and the designer paper, the images, it's great. It adds a nice little touch, and I'm going to show you a card that I have with that. So, okay, so I'm going to show you, now that I've shown you, now I have shown you everything that's in the catalog. Now I'm going to show you some cards. So, this is the first card, and I'm going to go ahead and I want to zoom this in just a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay, so this card uses, this is a Whisper White back card based, and then you have the panel that I used the Greenery embossing folder. So I ran it once through and then ran it on the other side to make a full panel. And then I used the back of this, is it this one that I used? Yes. So I used the back of this instead of using the gold because I knew I wanted to add some of the gold leaves. And then I stamped the images from the stamp set and ran them through the die cutting machine. And if you notice, the stamps give a wonderful shadowing effect, this is great. It's almost like a realistic stamp. And I really love, because sometimes when you first stamp it, you're like, oh, I didn't get everything all inked up, but you do. It's really great. So I did that twice, ran it through, and then the other leafed image. And then I also took a piece of shaded spruce and ran it through the embossing folder as well. And then I tagged the edges and just for the background. And here you have the embellished gold ring, which is nice. And so then the ribbon, here's the vanilla open weave ribbon. Very, very soft, easy to work with. And I took Pear Pizzazz and sponged it and then made a bow and then put it on the front of my card. And then this, you can do this, goes with the stamp set. So the stamp set has some wonderful writing. I love, again, that there's type and script writing for the sayings. So really like that. So this is this card, and you open it up, and you always want to stamp inside your card. So, and also don't forget to stamp the envelope. The next one is, and again, I used the catalog for inspiration, and I might have tweaked it a little bit, but here we have, but what's nice about this is these images, these three, came from the designer paper, and I just used the die to cut them out. So I really like that. Just that you don't have to stamp it all the time. And then I did take Pretty Peacock and take the bigger die, one of the bigger leaf dies, and ran that through the die cutting machine. And then here you have your scattered image right here. I call it just a little splatter. After I did that, and then I ran it through the embossing folder, so you can see that nice front or top and bottom image. And then I wrapped around the gold metallic thread ribbon and I frayed the edges. So it's just nice. I popped this panel up and just used designer paper behind it. And this is using our new Just Jade cardstock. And then in here, what I did is I stamped the image and I did gradation stamping or third generation stamping. So I stamped the image once and then stamped it again and stamped it a third time without using the ink pad. So that's a nice way to fill the corner, but also just give a gradation of the color. So it's this almost looks like Just Jade, and that's like the third time I stamped the same image, so without re-inking it. So that's another nice card. And the third card, I actually belong to a group of demonstrators, and we play a game with Survivor, the show on TV. And so it's called Stampin' Survivor. And so if your character loses and gets out of the show, then you have to send people in the group cards. So it was nice that one of the demonstrators that is a participant in this group, so she sent the cards to those that were still in it. So again, this is using the embossing folder, and then you have part of the designer paper, and then she stamped the images, and then she took our linen thread, and then she used the image, or the "To a Friend That Makes Me Smile," and then just our little gold embellishments. So that's really nice. And so that was from Renee. So Renee, thank you for that. This is really great card. I love it, and I just love this whole suite. So I was really excited to get that card. So the card we're going to make tonight is this card, and I'm going to give you some ideas on how to put this card together. So we're going to make it, and I'm going to show you how we do it. And so let's get started, okay? So you're wondering first, we're going to start with this panel first. So the ingredients to this card is you need a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 cardstock. This is just jade, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm going to take my bone folder right now. And if you notice that we have, when you score it, you have your valley and your mountain fold. So I'm going to fold in the mountain side. And there we go. Just like that. Okay, so that's ready to go. And then you have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 designer paper. So here's that wonderful lined, the lines. And then on the other side are the beautiful leaves. Really, really pretty. I love the two-tone of the leaves. So we're going to go ahead and let's just glue this down right now. And I'm using our multi-purpose glue. I feel like it just goes a long way. And they're easy, and if you need to position the card, it helps you position it the right way. So I really like that. There we go. Okay, so we have that ready to go. And then you're going to need, for your inside, a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to use that in a minute to stamp. And then I have a piece that this is going to be our front panel right here. And that's going to be 4 by 3 1/4. So we're going to stamp that image. And then you'll also need one of the gold laser cut panels. So I used this panel as one of the, for the background, but I think I'm going to use this one because I really like it. I think it's really pretty. So I think we're going to use that one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'll put that aside for right now. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this image. We're going to use this panel and start our image. Now I told you that I was going to use one of the laser cut leaves that you get in the pack, and we are going to sponge it. So you'll notice this sponged design right here, and I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to layer the rest of the card. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to position it, and I'm just going to hold it, and I'm going to use one of our sponge daubers, and I like to add the name of the sponge dauber just with some paper and then tape it, and then I keep it in a case, which so I have all the colors in one case. So this is soft seafoam, So I'm going to go ahead and open up the soft seafoam. And then we're going to hold in place right here. And I'm just going to sponge daub. And there's no, I just want to go ahead and make sure I get all of image. You could tape this down with some non-adhesive tape or some washi tape if you wanted to, but I just like to hold it in place like this. Okay, I think I'm good with that. Let's see how it is. There. So you can use this. I've used it once before, but you can use this again if you want to, or you still have the gold side. So we're finished with that. Now we're going to start to layer. And I've already started the image. We're going to start with the big leaf image first. Okay, and then, and this is using Garden Green. And you'll notice I'm just going to stamp, and I'll put it, make sure I get, oh, see, I didn't press hard enough. Okay, so you can see that it's, the color catches all of the stamp, but it's going to be heavier in some spots than it is in others. And that gives the shadowing. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp this. There we go. All right, and close that up. And then we're going to use this nice leaf image and use Pretty Peacock. Okay. And then stamp that as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it the other side. There we go. There. So now I have my sponged image and then my two stamped images. So it gives a little bit of a background, but it's nice that you can use those laser cut pieces to make a mask. So that's really nice to have. All right. So hopefully I'm not going to ink. I'm not getting any of my ink cleaned up just yet. Okay, so then to make, you'll notice to make the hello, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the hello on a 1/2 inch scrap, and then I'm going to cut it. So again, I just want to go ahead and stamp that, and then we'll adhere that. Okay, so, and what's great about this grid paper is that I can line it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp my hello. Hopefully not getting crooked. That's pretty good. Okay, I like that. All right, and then I'm just going to take my paper snips, and I'm just going to cut. I've got this space right here, and I'm going to cut about there, and that's all you need. So we'll throw our scraps away, and now we have this piece. Okay, and we have our hello. All right, one thing that another idea just to soften the panel is I roughed up the edges with our paper snips. So not only can our paper snips cut, but another great use is to go ahead and rough up the paper. So I'm just going to go on each side. And this does make a little bit of a mess, but you can always wipe off your surface so you don't get paper snowflakes, as I call them, all over. And you can rough it up. You can even tear the paper if you want with these, the more that you play with it, because you're breaking down the fibers of the paper. So there we go. All right. Okay. Now, we got our paper snips put away. We've roughed up the paper. Then I'm going to take Pear Pizzazz, and I'm using all the colors that are incorporated in the designer paper. And I'm going to use another sponge dauber and take my Pear Pizzazz, and I'm just going to sponge the edges very softly Again, it just gives it another little softness to the panel, but also showcases the colors that are in the designer paper. There we go. Okay. And I think I'm all set with that. So let me wipe off my surface now. There we go. Okay. So now I'm ready to start adhering. I have my hello. I also need to get my little piece of the open weave ribbon that I'm just going to cut because I want this to be a little bit longer than the hello saying. So I'm just going to cut right about there. And this too, this ribbon can also, you can fray it as well. And, but it's really great. Nice and thin and soft. So, okay, so we're ready to go ahead and put our card together. Oh, one more thing, I forgot to stamp the inside. Again, what I did on the inside is I sponged using that fern laser cut image and then stamped. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do that before we finish so I can finish all the stamping. So for the inside, I have a panel of 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm gonna go ahead again, get my soft seafoam and sponge the image. So here we go. You guys can see. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and sponge it again. There we go. Lay that down. And then I'm going to take another, where is my, oh, here it is. Really, really like these stamps, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this right there. Okay, so we are all set. We have now stamped everything. That's the most important thing. You want to stamp all your images, and that's really helpful. So before you put everything together. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glue, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my inside panel. Go ahead. There we go. So it's all set, ready to go. Okay, there's the inside. Now we're going to go ahead and take this laser cut panel, and I'm going to glue it onto the card front. But a great thing, this is our silicone mat, and it's a rubbery mat, and it's good to use for when you're using the hot, if you're using a glue gun, if you're gluing little small detailed dies to a card. This is a great technique. So I'm just going to take some of our Tombow glue, multi-purpose glue, and put it in there. And I'm going to lay my laser cut. I want this side to be shown, so I'm going to go ahead. And what I do is I take, we have our, these actually are retiring, but this comes in this big sponge, and I cut it in eighths. These are great for just this, and also for for when you're sponging colors. But I'm going to go ahead and just take the glue. And so what this does is it covers the glue on here, and it's sticky on the back. And I'm going to put that to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down. There you go. So, and if you get a little bit of glue, that's okay on there. You're not really going to be able to see it. It dries clear. So here we go. So that's pretty. I like that on top of the designer paper. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take, and I love using dimensionals. It's my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up this panel using dimensionals. Our dimensionals are two-sided glue foam, and they're easy to just peel off. Sometimes you can push down the middle and it lifts up the backing. Okay, and I'm going to put this right in the middle. There we go. Okay, so there you go. Then we have that done. And now I'm going to go ahead and put this image, the ribbon on. And I like to use glue dots for this. So the easiest way to get the glue dot off, or actually I just push down on the ribbon and it lifts right off. Push down again, lifts right off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just put this across right about here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop up the hello using our dimensionals. Okay. Here we go. And there you have it. So this is a great way to use up everything that's in the suite. And using our wonderful new Just Jade. So you'll see the two cards together. I'll put all this over to the side so you can see. So you have these two cards that we have finished, and I'll bring in the other cards again just so you can see how versatile this suite is. We have this card, and this one, and this one. Excuse me. I would love for your feedback on this and to let me know what you think your favorite is, or maybe one of your favorite colors that are in this whole suite. And if you would like a catalog, you can go ahead and let me know. You can go ahead and leave a message here on Lizzie Stamps. Stampin' Up! Is my Facebook page. And also you can follow along at Lizzie Stamps on my Instagram page. So if you wanted to do that. All right, and you can leave me a comment and let me know if you would like a catalog. I would love to ship out a catalog to you. And once next week when the catalog goes live, I'm going to show some more product suites but be able to actually show you the card and the whole suite. And there's a lot of new exciting things that are coming out. So I really hope you enjoyed tonight. Thanks for joining me live. And if you left any comments, I'll be able to go back and look and comment. So thank you so much. Have a great night.